What's up, guys? It's been a minute since we did a commentary, so I wanted to go ahead and hop on here and get one in for you. I know a lot of you guys really enjoy this type of content, so I do apologize for not getting more of these out here on the channel. I'm going to attempt to be better about that moving forward. If you guys enjoy commentary style videos inside the mind, what am I thinking while I'm playing? Maybe you guys can't make it to my live streams where I stream Monday through Friday, basically starting around 11 o'clock Central Time and going until 5 in the afternoon. To actually see the tips that I'm putting here on the YouTube channel in a live format. These are the types of videos that you enjoy. Let me know. So we're starting off here on offense. For those that want to know, offensive playbook Seattle, defensive playbook, we are in the Carolina Panthers. And I'll talk about that more when we get to the defensive side of the football. But we're starting off here in the bunch tight end offense. This is something that I've been in all season long. I think that the Seattle Seahawks offensive playbook is probably a top 5, top 6 playbook. Right now, you've got the Eagles playbook is probably one of the most popular playbooks in the game right now because it's got that gun trips tight end flex. A lot of players like to run that trips tight end flex out of the Lions, but it's also in the Raiders and the Eagles. Eagles also have that gun normal formation as Vince Young throws an inaccurate there to a wide open receiver on the sideline. But right now, I think Seattle's probably in that second tier of offensive playbooks. You have, like I said, Rams, Eagles, those are very, very good. Then you have your bunch playbooks. Green Bay is really good for audibling around. Atlanta has all the bunch formations as well. Colts is still very, very good. Then you kind of get into that whole like Seattle, Minnesota, there's a lot of good playbooks in this game, but especially with this game just being offensive friendly, there's a lot of viable stuff as we're going to hit a nice little crossing route to Ridley right there. Drove the vertical route with the tight end, pulls all the deep zones on the left side. We hit the post. You saw right there, I was using the running back as a little bit of a delayed seam. Keep that user in the middle of the field. You see that this opens up an easy throw. Notice that Vince Young throws a lot of ducks in this game. I don't really know if that's like really impacting too much. I don't know how many of you believe in tight spiral trait. It's not something that I've really taken a look at, to be honest with you, but that looked a little bit funky. Now here, my opponent is in obviously the a dollar type defense. I believe this is more of like a 1-4 style defense. The reason I think it's 1-4 is that if you take a look at his edge defenders, they're standing up in that predator stance. They don't have their hands in the dirt like a traditional defensive end would in a dollar type defense. So you see right here, number 98 on the right, you see Dwight Freeney on the left. They're standing up, Mean Joe in the middle. So he is definitely running a loop heavy defense here. This is something that a lot of players struggle with. You've got, that edge blitz loop that a lot of players are accustomed to. A lot of players right now run dollar. They're still crossfire looping out of that. So we're basically within this offensive game plan going to be fixated on freestyling against these loops. There are ways to make sure that you really don't have to do too much from a blocking perspective. You see right here, I am doing a little bit of a slide protection ID the mic. Right here, I decided because it wasn't letting me ID the mic, I just went ahead and checked to a run. I told my chat this. For whatever reason, my ID the mic wouldn't register, so I just killed the play call because I, at that point, didn't really think like, okay, it's worth snapping the ball. I don't have my protection. I might have the route combo I like, but if I'm going to get screamed at, I'm not going to have time. So I killed the call and just went to a little bit of an off tackle, pick up the first down. One of the things about ranked all Madden is that the mode has 40-second play clocks. This is different, I do believe, than if you guys were to play like Gauntlet or the MUT Champions modes. I think those are shorter play clocks. So time management in this is really, really easy to kind of chew up play clock, possessive football. A lot of times having the last possession of the first half or at the end of the game is a lot easier because you run off an additional 10 seconds. So you see right here, I'm able to actually take this to the second quarter, whereas if I were playing MUT Champs or Gauntlet, I would have had to have snapped that last play before the quarter. So we come into the start of the second quarter here, still on our first drive of the game, facing a 2nd down and 3. And with those, again, 40-second play clocks, I mean, I could very easily chew into the amount of time he's going to have for what would likely be his only possession of the half. So right here, down on the goal line, I'm kind of thinking, all right, well, I'm in the Seattle playbook. There's a lot of great red zone calls. You're going to see right here, a lot of players expect the quarterback zone run. Really, really bad run stick by me right there. I should have cut inside right there. Nonetheless, we did pick up the first down and the clock is moving here. So again, you see that 40-second play clock. This is going to allow me to really kind of chew this up. Being that work done is my running back, I kind of want to sub him out down here in this area. Byers, a little bit more physical, can fall forward. The other thing that he adds to this offense is that if I do decide to run the quarterback zone out of the trips tight end, that he's a lead blocker for me, and that's going to be more beneficial than running behind Wark done as a lead blocker. So right here, though, we call, I believe, duo, and I just try to like slam this up inside. Yeah, probably bad run stick again there too. But again, clock is moving. I mean, if I take this all the way down here, another 20 seconds, you're talking basically this next snap can get me to the 2-minute warning. So you see how quickly time can go off the clock in this particular context. So here we go, 2nd down and goal. Here's this quarterback zone, and boom, we fumble. So really, really good drive. And yeah, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I run this offense. I know a lot of other players that run this offense. Mills runs this offense as well. And he's a god at this conservative dive with the quarterback. I do it and I fumble. I fumble a lot. In fact, I've been playing really, really good defense. And I've been killing myself a lot with these, these fumbles down in the red zone, especially at the end of the first half. So he's got the ball and ball at half. We got some work to do. Now we are on defense. I mentioned I'm in the Carolina Panthers on the defensive side of the ball now. Formerly was in like a multiple defense. You're going to have to bear with me right here. A little bit of lag spiking here just towards the tail end of the first half. This will go away. I promise you. Don't worry. Stick with me here. But the reason I like the Carolina Panthers offense, or defense rather, is that I think it gives a lot of the best looks in the game from blitzing perspectives. So if you really want to get pressure at all costs, you just want to intimidate your opponent. It has 3-4 odd, which is super, super meta right now. In fact, it just won a belt with No Mercy Lambo. It's got the 4-3 even 6-1, which is another great blitzing call. And then you also have the dime 1-4, which is, in my opinion, better than dollar now. In fact, I'm going to be putting out a dollar or a dime 1-4 defensive game plan on the website, Gridiron Game Plans. So if you guys don't subscribe to Gridiron, make sure you guys go check it out. It's actually got the defense I'm in right now in this video. You guys are really going to like what I'm doing here. We're in the 3-3 over. But to finish my thoughts real quick on the 1-4, I really like the 1-4 because it's got so many looping pressures. It's still got the edge blitz meta. It's got some crossfire meta. And then if you guys install the coverages that I break down in the November 21st Vault update on Gridiron Game Plans behind all those pressures that are in the 1-4, it's going to be so good. Good friend of the website, Medic, has been in 1-4 since probably September, maybe even late August. And after all these patches, 1-4 is kind of the last beacon of dollar type defense left. And I'm noticing a lot of people out there going to it and claiming that it's like, their defense or whatever. But I can rest assured say Medic has been running there's like 10 blitzes out of this. I'm going to be sharing them all with you on the website. Permission from Medic. He's going to be contributing to the website here with that defense. And honestly, I think it's the best dollar type defense in the game. I don't run it in this game because I really, really like where we're at with this defense, which is the 3-3 over as we drop an interception right there. Ryan Clark with the swat, Rondé Barber with the drop. So let's go ahead and talk about the 3-3 over. Why do I like the 3-3 over? First and foremost, it's kind of my style of defense. I'm big on a front 4, having 4 defensive line players, 2 off-ball backers, and 5 secondary players, kind of like a nickel style defense. Traditionally, I've been a player that has played nothing but quarters, palms, cover 6, and also kind of like cover 9 and Tampa 2 with some matching rules. But this year, EA has not done a great job with the way Tampa 2 is coded. They removed the vertical hooks from it. They also basically made it where middle thirds suck this year. So it's really, really hard to play like inverted cover 3, which has been a staple defense of mine for many, many years now. A lot of players have run that defense because of the way that I've kind of taught it over the last probably 3 or 4 years. And now it's not viable really at all unless you use the middle linebacker and switch stick. And, that could be tough. That could definitely be tough. It's not a bad defense, but you just got to kind of know how to switch stick around it. And really, that's true of every single defense in this game. But what I love about this particular defense is that it has some new plays that EA just patched into the game. And I break down the rules for these new plays on Gridiron. Again, check out that November 21st Vault update. Because while I'm just running them with a stock kind of rush in front of it right now, like I said, if you guys can install these coverage calls with a blitz in front of it, like maybe out of 1-4, it's going to make your life so much easier. Or if you guys, want to run something aggressive like a 3-4 odd or a 4-6 or a 4-3 even 6-1 with these blitzes that you can install these coverages behind them, it's going to be great. Sorry, I'm still fighting a cold right here, but there's a really, really good example. You see right there that we've got this kind of funky hybrid match coverage. I show it as a 2-high defense, so it's going to look the same whether I'm in quarters or cover 6 or cover 2 or some of this other cover 3 matching stuff. And even within the cover 3 matching stuff, you don't know who's playing the middle third. You don't know who's playing the seam flat. You don't know who's playing the hooks. Sometimes you have 2 hooks on the same side of the field. There's a lot of rules for the way that this defense behaves. And you see that was a gnarly switch stick. And that's one of the things that I think is really, really undersold about whip defense. Zone in this game is so bad, but matching style defenses, these seam flats do a really, really good job of playing whips. You see right there, I switch sticked across the defense. I'm going to go ahead and rewind that just a little bit. Watch how I'm on Tillman and the hook zone on the right gets out of the way, and it's an easy switch stick, and I run back down to Barber and switch stick back, and it puts him in a spot where the computer can yick this, and I'm able to go the other direction for a touchdown. Now, that's an example where Barber dropped too far off of the whip, and I identified it and put him back in position. But there's going to be a lot of cases where Barber just runs the route for the receiver, or really anyone that you guys would put into those roles. And that could be something that you do out of quarters or out of cover 3 match, believe it or not. I taught this, about 3 months ago. In fact, I taught that seam flats and quarter flats defend whips and return routes better than any man or zone in the game. And I've seen some other content creators kind of just starting to get onto that and talk about it. But it truly is one of the best adjustments in the game. One of the best parts about match, for as bad as pro players will tell you match is that it really does defend some of the best routes in the game, particularly that whip that everybody seems to rely on, including myself. I run a lot of whips. I mean, I run a playbook for a play called whips, for crying out loud. So, it's really, really valuable. So right there, huge pick 6 before half. We kind of get our mistake of fumbling on the goal line back. Now we're in good shape. Right here, he's going to get out of this bunch. He's struggling with the match coverage from traditional bunch. So you see that he goes to kind of a 2x2 here. And we're just trying to play over the top. You see right here, he chucks it down the field. Kirby Joseph, pick artist, dropped interception. So not great there. Pretty poor mistake. Now, while I am in a new coverage defense, that does come with the territory, especially when you play match is your identity, that you have to learn the hard way. A lot of players are scared of running match because they're afraid of giving up 1-play touchdowns. I'm the exact opposite. You're going to give up 1-play touchdowns, and you're going to learn how to never give them up again. So what you're going to see right here is an example where, I've identified something my opponent did, and it got me. And kudos to him, but it's something I'm going to learn from and, not have to worry about it. And I do believe it's coming up here in a short moment. You see right there, he missed a post route that was open, but I think this play is going to be where I screw up. Again, really sorry for all the mutes here. I'm fighting through a little bit of a cold my daughter gave me. Hope you guys are all having a good holiday, season here. Hope you guys had a great, happy Thanksgiving. Got time for football, family, and friends. I've really been enjoying, getting back on the grind after this holiday break. I've kind of got a new sense of energy. My competitive juices are flowing. I'm, motivated to learn some things. Yep, right here's the bust. So right here, we just kind of had a late match on a seam route and identified it late. And, kudos to my opponent. That's a backbreaker to give up before half right there, especially with him having ball at half. Really, really unfortunate. So you're going to see it right here. Basically what ended up happening, seam just kind of had some pick action. Guys kind of ran into each other. If he throws that 100 times, I don't know that he catches it 100 times, but right there, something that I have to be aware of. And there is an adjustment. And in fact, I'll be talking about it on Gridiron next week, where that won't happen anymore. So, but kudos to him. Great call right there. And ends up hitting me up for a 1-play touchdown. Not ideal, obviously not ideal there, but now we got to get back on the horse here. We're, kind of dictated the flow of the entire first half and have nothing to show for it. That fumble on the goal line, a really, really bad blown coverage before half. I could have played a little bit more conservative, but a little bit of backstory. The other day, I played 2-man under before half, shaded up over the top, and still got cooked for a 1-play touchdown. And, I kind of was thinking, okay, Eberflus, I don't want to, I want to dance with the one that, that brought me, so I'd rather just work through my stuff get better at my craft. Again, you see right there that whip route not open. Those matching zones do a really, really good job at defending those whip routes. Now, I know he caught it with a guy all over him there, but it's kind of the name of the game, right? Catching traffic this year is really, really good. So he's back in this bunch offset here, and he's not really had a lot of luck out of this alignment. So again, he's going kind of with this meshing call with a little bit of a post, and it's smothered, absolutely smothered. You see that he has to ditch it out of bounds. Really, really good defense there. Nothing open. So again, I don't know why he's maining this bunch offset. It's not really getting him home. We were just kind of talking about how in general, some people like the Colts offense. I don't know that he's necessarily in Colts here, but Colts offense, the calling card is the bunch offset. And I just personally don't think it's a bunch offset year. Truth be told, I don't really even think it's a bunch year, even though I run bunch tight end. I was telling my chat the other day, again, if you guys don't watch my Twitch channel, I am live. There's another busted coverage. I'm not sure if I show a replay here right after this. Yeah, I hit the button here on my stream deck to look at it. So let's take a look right here. I think right here, this is a little bit different. I was fully expecting my outside third to run with this, but right here, I'm the middle third defender. And I think that he thought I was going to take it, and I thought he was going to take it. So again, another live and learn situation, probably a hash mark dependent thing. And again, that just kind of goes back to the whole mentality of like when you run match, it's a great defense, but it's only as good as the amount of work and note taking you want to put in. So I think a lot of players out there will call it as a kind of a set it and forget it style defense. And, that's great. Don't get me wrong, but it can backfire on you when you don't call it consistently and get to a point where you know what routes get open on the short side, the wide side of the field. Because the funny thing is, like, I'll just tell you some free game right here. If you run cover 3 match, run a slot post from the wide side of the field from the second receiver, and then compare it to the same route combination on the short side of the field with that same post, but it's being run from the short side. You'll see two completely different ways that it's covered. One's going to be smothered, one's not. I'll let you guys lab that. And that's the type of stuff that you have to learn as you play the game. Okay, short side, wide side. I know a post route doesn't get open on this particular hash. I know it will on this hash. What is my rule set for this outside third to match his guy? Does he think I've got the seam, or is he going to run with it? Those are the things that you have to learn the hard way. And I would rather make that mistake in December to be better at the game in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and honestly into the next game, because I've committed time and effort into learning those things. So that's my mentality. It's not necessarily for everyone on the defensive side of the ball, but I would kind of leave you with this. Zone is so bad this year. Why not try to learn something different instead of sitting back and just letting your opponents pick you apart? Because my opponent right here is running zone, and you see how easy it is to beat zone coverage. So again, he's in this 1-4. I'm really expecting edge loops and crossfire loops. I'm not too worried about him. You see my route combo there, which, by the way, one of my least favorite things about this game is that when you custom sim a route, it shows your entire play art. I kind of wish that EA put a streamer mode in the game where the custom sim only shows the route that you're custom simming rather than the entire play art. Or even better is if there was just lines above the receiver's head that show how long the stem is before it breaks, but it doesn't show whether it's a post or a corner. So like, for instance, if I run in a 15-yard post, it just shows the stem rather than the stem and the post. Or if it's the same 15 yards, but it's a corner, it just shows the stem, but not the corner portion of it. I think that would be a great fix that we can toggle on and off for streaming purposes, because it is kind of a thing. And I don't, want this commentary to be me complaining about stream sniping, but to me, this is probably the heaviest stream snipe game of Madden I've ever played in my life because of the way that play art is shown. Now, right there, probably a little bit of a late read right there. I was really looking for the shallow cross, kind of stuck with that route a little bit too long. I probably should have ripped that post a little bit sooner, but nonetheless, we have a first down. I really like that route combo and the one I'm building right here against zone, just because it's like so hard to guard the seam. So a quick, and I actually had B for a touchdown right there, but I threw the ball too quick. But fortunately, we're able to break a tackle and, get down inside the 10 there. So we have basically first and goal. We can't get a first down without a touchdown here, but we are first down and goal. And we're going to run the outside zone. Keith Byers, catch a block, fall into the end zone, touchdown, and extra point will tie this up. So, like I said, though, the 40-second play clock throws a huge wrench into this. If you guys play a lot of champions in Gauntlet, you guys know that 30-second play clock, the game feels a lot longer. The 40-second play clock, I mean, that's basically 2 first downs and the game's over. So even with 34 seconds left in the first half, I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, I got to get a stop right here or we're in trouble. But when you look at the totality of this game, I feel like I've really dominated this game. We had 2 busted coverages, really just 2 bad snaps. Otherwise, I'm bagging the living hell out of him. I've had 2 great drives. One of them I just ended with an unfortunate fumble. You know, I'm not that worried, but this game rewards catching traffic a lot. So, you know, I've got to be tight here. I've definitely got to be tight. We can't let him just pick up 3 first downs to kick a game-winning field goal. So we got to start locking down. Right here, he goes back to the whip. Right there, so we had the whip route guarded by the matching flat 2 times, and right there it got open. I would say the big issue right there was I didn't put that player out far enough. He did match it. He was just too far inside when he realized he needed to match it. I think if you guys aren't clicking and dragging your players around your defense to get better leverages, you should probably start doing so. Playing players in their stock positions, one, it's too easy for anyone who labs the game. We all play against the computer and learn how to manipulate AI defenders where their stock position is. But when you get into a habit of, you know, moving a guy down to take away a quick seam or moving that guy down, they don't know. Is this a hard flat? Is this a, you know, a hook zone? Is it a matching quarter? Is it, you know, what is it? You know, we're just trying to create different looks here. So right here, now this time I've got a nickel corner over to the other side, expecting kind of that whip action, but it could be whipped to the right too. So I end up right here, playing a little match. He does go over the top, and honestly, he overthrew it. Otherwise, that's probably intercepted. Right there, you see that Ryan Clark gets back. At this point in time, I'm trying to think. My team, I haven't talked about it too much. It's still 20 Eagles, 20 Seahawks, and 20 Falcons. But this is being recorded. Again, we got another blip here. Don't worry about it. We're going to be fine. I think 40 Commanders is on the table. Ryan Clark, you know, with 40 now, you get +2 speed. Again, I'm sorry for the lag spikes. These will go away. I think 40 Commanders is very much on the table. Deshaun Jackson, I believe, with +2 speed, will go to 97 speed. Ryan Clark gets Commanders. He goes to 97 speed. There's a new Terry McLaurin that's coming out for Team of the Week. I believe he'll go to 95 speed. And currently with the Team of the Week, I think he'll go to 97 speed. So those Commanders are going to be really, really tough. It's going to be a second mortgage damn near to build 40 Commanders today. I think everybody and their dog is going to be going to that. But right now it's 20 Eagles, 20 Falcons, 20 Hawks. I really like the 20 Eagles. Obviously, Vince Young, Deshaun Jackson. Those are the main 2 players that I'm getting benefit from, though, if I'm being totally honest with you. I don't have Saquon at running back because 20 Falcons, I'm using Warwick Dunn to get him to 96 speed. So again, there we go. Right here, I'm playing kind of a matching style coverage, and he's able to pick up a nice, or I'm sorry, I didn't play a matching style coverage. I played a cover 2 there, and he had a nice little crossing route. So good work by him right there. We need to, you know, we need to get a stop here. We need to get a stop right here. This is not a good spot to be in. So right here, again, 2-minute warning. I do have all 3 timeouts, but this is do or die time. Right here, he's going to go into that bunch tight end. I decide right here, or I'm sorry, the bunch offset. Right here, I decide, you know, he's trying to play conservative. He's already done a little conservative dive with his running back. I think he's going to be playing pretty conservative. Right here, I play cover 3 hard flat with 5-yard hooks. I didn't want him to throw anything shallow. I knew that he was super, you know, he's taking first down for the win. He's not thinking deep strike. So I got out of my matching style coverage for the first time, played very, very hard underneath, 5-yard hooks, hard flats. And I said, I dare you to throw the ball downfield. He's not had any luck throwing the ball downfield at this point in the game. So I decide, okay, we're good. So right here, again, we end up really, really good dot by him right there. Ends up getting me for a first down. And, you know, I probably left the 5-yard hooks on too many plays there. He knew off the last play that I was playing hard underneath. I gave him that same look. So I burned a timeout. Now here he goes, gun Y off trips. And he's going to need, obviously, one more first down, but he's actually in a really good spot from a milking the clock perspective. There he goes for a handoff. I hit sticked him. That was my fault. You saw the glowing tank X factor. They break all hit sticks, but it actually worked out for me. He ended up getting a broken tackle in -3. And here we go. We've got, again, bunch tight end. We're in a lot of trouble here. So he's going to go into this tight open. Right here, I'm, trying to get this stop. We play a little quarters action. Looking for the fumble. Nothing doing there. I fumbled down on the goal line. His quarterback doesn't fumble on the scramble. And we got to get off the field here. Or maybe force a field goal bare minimum. I'm really hoping in the back of my mind right here, I got to get him to throw the football. Let's see what happens. So we got third down and 10 right here. First down wins the game. Runs the ball. He probably wins the game too with the 40-second play clocks. I'll only have 20 seconds to work with. And his call is going to be kind of holding on to this for a while here. What's he going to do? Snaps the football. And he takes the touchdown over the top. You know what's funny is I told my chat, I said, that's fine. I gave it to him. If you guys actually will note right here, I'm going to rewind this. On this defense, I'm going to pause this. Right here in this spot, I'm thinking he wants a first down. I'm willing to give him a touchdown. So right here, I played basically sticks. I didn't want him running a speed out right here. So I said, if you want to throw a streak, you can have it. I left this guy not in a half because I wanted any post route that came from this side to be guarded by him. So I left the streak open and I wanted my attention to be all in this area of the field. So I basically was playing, the sticks, inside quarter, hook. The running back is handled right here. And you see right here that I switch sticked to this guy because I wanted to basically be able to play a corner or something underneath. And he ripped this. But if you take a look at this, this was actually really good defense. It was good defense and also a great read by my opponent. I had to give him the touchdown here in order to preserve life. This is one of those situations where defending the touchdown is not something you do in this spot. You defend the first down. And he made the right read, and he was able to score. So again, I am sorry for the lag spikes in this. Fortunately, they happen at times where it's not really costing us the teaching experience, but good drive by him. I'm just thinking in the back of my head, like, man, I really food barred this game, man. I don't really feel like I played poorly. I think my process has been good in this game. Execution was maybe not great. Again, those two busted coverages kind of put me in a bad spot where I had to tie the game because I wasted my first drive. That first drive took the entire first quarter and almost to the 2-minute warning in the second quarter for me to fumble on the 2. All things considered, kind of 3 bad snaps. And it shows you 3 bad snaps. How many points does he have? 3 scores. 3 scores on 3 bad snaps. So, that's what can happen to you in this game. So we're obviously in a dire need of chunk yardage and stopping the clock. We start off with a 7-yard scramble, get to the left hash. Right there, you can't see, but I have my other monitor. When I'm streaming, I've got my gameplay monitor. I've got my monitor with my chat, and then I've got my monitor with the actual stream on playback so I can take a look. And I actually noticed that he busted a coverage, or he showed me something. Now, in this particular breakdown, I believe that I don't exploit it right away, but I want you to watch the right corner. You see right there that he switch sticked onto him. And the reason I run that route combo, and I'm going to go back, I'm going to pause this. The reason I run the route combo that I just showed you is because a lot of players are predetermined to switch stick onto the outside corner. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to take this corner and I stem it down so it breaks immediately into the sideline. But I've got this route that is basically designed to pull any deep zone. So if this is an outside third or an outside fourth, this B receiver will pull that guy. So that allows me to get him open without, you know, I don't have to use this streak, but a lot of times I will, because if it's cover 4, I can use Y to pull the inside safety, and I can use B to pull the outside corner, and then the, you know, the 30-yard corner route is wide open underneath of both of them, and I've got to check down to the flat. So this is a great, you know, clock stopper type of call. And if you get somebody with an over aggressive switch stick, I can key in on that and kind of note. But I actually, you see right here, he immediately switch sticks onto this guy. So for a lot of players, I think, okay, when I run this route combo, a lot of times they're going to switch stick on and peel back to this throw. I can play cat and mouse with these two routes, where if I can get them switch sticking, thinking they're guarding the corner route, a lot of times I'll launch B. But I want to go back. I just explained the rationale for why I called that. You'll notice here that on this previous play, I want you to take note of something. Even though I scrambled on this play, I want you to watch right here. Look at this coverage. You notice how on this coverage, he plays adequate deep zone help over the bunch side, and then he's switch sticking over here, and he's got running back help. But look at the backside. You see right here, it's inside quarter and 30-yard flat. I logged that when I was talking about how I looked at my monitor. I'll kind of remove. You'll see that I look at my monitor and I see that. And right here, I'm like, all right, I got something. So at that point in time, I'm thinking, all right, well, what I want to do here is I want to get back to that hash, because he's going to call that coverage again. If I can go to the right hash bunch left, I got to get back to the right hash so I can set that up. So that's why I go to this play call right here, thinking, all right, bare minimum, we're scrambling out, throwing the check down to the running back, getting out of bounds. We're throwing the corner out, getting out of bounds. So I could go bunch to the left on my next play. So I want you to watch how we set this up. So we're in bunch to the left here. And if you remember the last example, he basically had quarter, flat, and then he like keyed the running back. But on the backside, he had inside quarter and outside cloud, with a deep area of the field right here being uncovered. So I want you to just kind of see why I set this up the way I did here on this drill. So when we go to this route combo, remember I started off the game with that post route where I run the tight end down the seam and I had that post route. This time I stem the post up so that 30-yard cloud can't get it. Now watch, I roll out, avoid the tackler, boom. There it is. And we hit him for the touchdown. You can see my reaction on stream. I mean, this is absolutely perfect game management, picking up on a tendency, not showing that I want to attack it right away the next down, and I'm able to capitalize on that. So extra point is up and good. And now my opponent has 40 seconds left to try to get a game-winning field goal. For what it's worth, if you guys sky kick all the way to the left and do about 75% power, and you miss to the left of the accuracy, but not all the way to the point where you kick it out of bounds, it'll nearly always kick it where the ball lands on the goal line, where if they're forced to catch it and return it, or if they let it bounce, they'll get the ball at the 20. So that's something that you guys should pay attention to. A little pro tip there for getting good field position on kickoffs. So right here, we're going to play our coverage. So again, right here, he goes to an underneath. We're kind of playing a little matching coverage there. You know, he wanted to hit that little shallow check down right there. Fortunately, we had that manned up on the backside. Pretty good call there. I want to say, as I'm going through this, I'm thinking, all right, well, this guy's been a little bit conservative the entire game. Yeah, I gave him a touchdown on the last drive. Right here, I know he's going back to the whip game. You see, I've moved Tillman out a little bit more. I actually think he gets cooked again here on this, believe it or not. Yeah. Again, like he's on it, but he's not on it. And I think that really, one thing that I can give advice on that is that if I have a nickel corner in that role, you notice Rondé Barber played that earlier. That is the preferred player in that assignment to do it compared to a linebacker. The linebackers kind of get hung out inside a little bit. So again, right here, he's back in this, the bunch tight end. Again, I'm kind of thinking a lot of times with this type of defense, I'm thinking, all right, I got to watch the whip from the bunch side. You see right here, I'm kind of hanging out on that side a little bit more. First time user in the middle linebacker. Right here, he goes to the underneath cross. Really good call there. I think that's really the first time he's hit that route, if I do recall. I kind of smirk at the camera. That was a good call. He definitely got me there. That was actually my responsibility. So I was playing quarters. My responsibility there was first in break from the bunch, and I didn't guard it. So that was my responsibility. So right here, again, this time I'm thinking, all right, he's probably going to go to something similar, but I have to be ready for the whip. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to take that first in cut. I'm expecting 17 to come under again. This time he doesn't. And I switch stick over to the right, and we were able to get a late throw out of sack. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, when I talk about, you know, in this game, a lot of the best interceptions are caught by D linemen. A lot of people, that upsets them. But I would say that the majority of the time, those types of throws are going to be late. And a lot of times no one is open, and it's just how players are predetermined to try to get throw out of sacks for free and complete passes rather than grounding. I mean, you take a look at this coverage. Who's open? The corner route is covered. The drag is covered. The post is bracketed low and high. The wheel is handled here. I mean, he's basically at this point throwing an interception if he's going to get this ball out, or he's trying to be cheap and do the little click the stick as he's getting hit and just get a free and complete. That isn't going to be an intentional grounding. So he throws this ball mad late. I mean, you see right here, I mean, we're basically, you know, on this play, we're pretty much matched. As I look back on this, I'm trying to decide, like right here, it looks to me like this guy gives up on matching the wheel, but I think that it's more or less that the quarterback got hit and the AI looks like it. You see right here, I switch stick, boom. I mean, look, he's still carrying him right here, matching him. He might have stopped, honestly. He really might have stopped right here as this guy went to throw it. But you see that's such a late throw. I mean, I think that, you know, if you're trying to get this ball out with a guy like 2 yards away from you, that ball shouldn't be coming out like that. So he ends up getting punished, and we get to throw out a sack interception. And that is all she wrote. I thought this was a really, really good game of perseverance. I made some mistakes in this game. I think that I played really good defense, had some busted coverages that I could learn from. I thought that the guap drive to get back and tie the game was really, really good at picking up on a tendency from my opponent. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll do more of these in the near future. But like I said, some of these take a little bit longer. It's about 38 minutes now into this video, but I hope that you guys do enjoy this, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.